As Nigeria marks 2 years under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on May 29, 2025, we reflect on one of the administration's boldest and most consequential priority areas, economic revitalization and job creation. With a clear goal to stabilize the macroeconomic environment and energize private sector-led growth, the Tinubu administration has rolled out a combination of courageous reforms and strategic programs. Today, we highlight the progress, challenges, and outcomes that have defined this journey so far. In June 2023, President Tinubu made a landmark decision to unify Nigeria's multiple exchange rates. The goal was to remove distortions in the foreign exchange market and improve investors' confidence. Initially, this reform caused volatility and inflationary pressure, with inflation peaking at 29% by fourth quarter 2023, but the policy eventually paid off by first quarter 2024. The naira began to stabilize, moving from 460 naira to 420 naira to the dollar. And by December 2024, foreign reserves grew from $33 billion to $37 billion. To manage demand, the administration imposed restrictions on certain imports, balancing liberalization with strategic protection. In August 2023, the Tinubu administration launched a sweeping tax reform agenda aimed at digitizing and expanding the tax net through the modernization of the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Tax registration was linked to the National Identification Number, while tax filing processes were digitized via an improved FIRS portal. A key achievement was bringing the informal sector and MSMEs into the tax base, with 12 billion and 15 billion allocated in 2024 and 2025 respectively. Tax revenue saw an 18% year-on-year increase in 2024, and over 3 million new taxpayers were registered by March 2025. Infrastructure development was prioritized through the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority (NSIA), which committed 500 billion naira across 2 years to national capital projects. Significant milestones include the completion of the Lagos-Ibadan Railway Phase 2 and progress on the Ajaokuta-Kaduna-Kano gas pipeline. These projects are not just structural achievements, they represent economic lifelines that are set to unlock regional trade, reduce transport costs, and fuel industrial growth. In January 2024, the administration launched the National Employment and Investment Agency, a central hub for coordinating job creation efforts and investment facilitation. Under this agency, the Youth Empowerment Through Digital Innovation (YEDI) program trained 500,000 young Nigerians by first quarter 2025 in tech skills and digital enterprise. In parallel, the SME Credit Guarantee Scheme disbursed 100 billion naira to 50,000 small businesses by the end of 2024. These interventions collectively contributed to the creation of over 2.1 million jobs across agriculture, digital services, construction, and manufacturing. The CNG gas monetization program was also one of the President's area of focus. To reduce Nigeria's dependence on petrol and drive clean energy adoption, the Compressed National Gas (CNG) program was introduced in October 2023. The government targeted 500,000 vehicles conversions by 2025. By March 2025, 300,000 conversions has already been achieved, and CNG stations expanded from just 10 to 120 nationwide. To make this shift affordable, 50 billion naira in subsidies were provided for conversion kits. This policy not only addresses environmental concerns, but also eases the financial burden on citizens amid subsidy removal. Mindful of Nigeria's rising debt profile, the Tinubu administration opened negotiations with international creditors. This led to the successful restructuring of $3.2 billion in bilateral debt and reduced the external debt service burden by 15% in 2024. Domestically, 8 trillion naira worth of short-term bonds were refinanced into long-term instruments, providing fiscal space and ensuring funds could be redirected towards development. As we mark 2 years of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, the path to economic recovery and inclusive growth is evident. From exchange rate reforms to tax digitization, from railway completion to digital job empowerment, the economic revitalization agenda has been far-reaching. While challenges like inflation, forex volatility, and fiscal strain have tested resilience, the administration's focus on long-term sustainability, local capacity building, and strategic investment is gradually yielding results. President Tinubu's economic agenda is not just about numbers. It is about lives being impacted, futures being built, and a country being steered towards prosperity. For Voice of Nigeria, Omalayo Alabi.